Okay, so this is a very much needed talk we need to have about these special ants here. Because I see all kinds of messed up formations in the mines and during the kill events of the SVS. First up, let's talk about specialized ants. If you see somebody with an acid general with either carriers or guardians stationed to him, they didn't read the ant. If you click on your ants, in the top left hand corner, it will tell you shooter, universal, guardian, or carrier. That is very important. With an acid general, if you do not have shooters with it, then skill, here we are, 7 will not activate, and skill 4 will not activate. That is a big handicap. Oh, and skill 1 and 6. Those are huge handicaps. Why? Stick with shooters with acid general. There are like a few universal ants. Gold armor is a universal ant. Jack jumper, universal, meaning you can use anything with those. Golden spiny is a universal. Driver, universal, meaning those are any ants. You can use them with anything. Giant tooth, slim arched, bullet, and golden sugar are universal. And brown rogue, if you were lucky enough to get one or you paid for one, it's universal. That's it. Those are all the universal. Okay, next, let's talk about range. I know when I first started, honestly up until like 2 months ago, I didn't know what range was. Range is what determines where the radius is for that ant, I guess you could say. Gold armor, this one has an effective range of 2. This one has an effective range of 5. Very big difference there. So, I had to switch cameras real quick so I could talk about this. Alright, so this is you, and this is your enemy. If you have a range of 2, and you put that ant in a support position with a range of 2, guess where that attack's landing? It's going to land here. 1, 2. So it won't even make it to the enemy. So, attacks with a range of 5, you want in your support position. So it can go all the way to their support. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, those are your ranges if you want to be able to attack all of these. in one attack. However, supports, you want a range of 5. Just straight up range of 5. For range, you want 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is your minimum. For melee, you can go 1, 2, and 3. So 1 through 3. Sorry, it's hard to hold the phone and write. Melee, your ideal range would be 1 through 3. Your ideal range for, well, range would be 1 through, not 1, 2 through 4. Has to be at least 2 so it can at least get to their melee. And it needs to be 4 to get to their support. So 2 through 4 is your attack range for the range position. For support, you want at least a 3 to a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So these are your ideal ranges for these positions. And that is why. Okay, now that we have talked about the range, let's talk about skills. Let's talk about Banshee Panda, since that seems to be one of the most popular ones you'll run into. Why does Banshee Panda pack such a punch? Is it the damage, or is it its skills? The answer is its skills. This skill, skill number 2, where it says that you're going to enter the dodge state, that means their ants cannot touch yours. That is huge when you're doing PvP or player versus player. It essentially, for the first 4 rounds, which the average I believe was like 8 rounds, I think. I don't know the actual average, I'm just guessing on that one. But that's like half the battle if the average is 8 rounds. That their ants cannot touch your ants. And then on top of that, there's a 70% chance to debuff their combat skills for 40%. That is huge. This is literally crippling the enemy. And there's no range on it because it affects you, not them necessarily. The next skill, let's see. Just give me a second, let me pull up the next ant that I see a lot of, and that is Reap Master. I do not have Reap Master. I want it, but I don't have it. This one has an effective range of 5. And if you remember from the last portion of this video when I had to switch cameras, that means it can hit every single enemy squad. And this one has a chance to disable all of the enemy ants for 2 rounds. Well, for 1 squad rather, for 2 rounds. So that skill paired with your Banshee Panda's skill, That's a huge handicap for your enemies. So those are two very good PvP ants. Okay, so now that we've looked at the PvP shooter ants, like, in my opinion, those are the best ones. Let's look at carrier. As you can see, I am a carrier main. I do have like 1, 2, 3, I guess 4. Can't really tell, can you? Anyway, PvP for carrier ants when going against just about anything. You're going to want Dark Giant. Dark Giant is similar to Reaper in that it helps you avoid damage. As you can read here, it puts your ants into a dodge state. It's not guaranteed like the shooter ants, but it's there. So, Dark Giant's good for carriers. This beauty, yes, you have to pay for it just like the panda. This thing for carriers is a beast. This skill, Misa. This skill can silence enemies. And what that means is it makes them unable to do their combat skills. So this is a good combat for Panda, pretty much. And Reaper. Or Mimicry Master, rather. Where this one gets its advantage against other ones is instead of having an average 40 to 60% to do this much amount of damage as their 8th skill, Venom increases its damage. And for carriers, that is amazing because they're not very good attackers. They're really not, unless you're going against guardians. But against shooters, they're no good unless you can boost them. So this, for going against shooters, almost puts you on an even playing field prior to ants. Or prior to special ants, rather. And no, I don't know everything about ants. I'm not pretending to do, so if I miss something or if I get something wrong, please just comment down below. Let me know what I missed, what I got wrong, so I can learn. This is just information based on how I understand it thus far. This one, instead of when it activates, instead of being able to, or instead of it just activating, attacking, and being done, this one actually does 2 attacks at the same time per skill activation. Meaning, this one is 2 attacks in 1 round. And it's 2 separate targets. So that's like, instead of having 3 attacks, you get 4 in 1 round. That's another huge bonus. So, Dark Giant and Gold Venom beautiful for PvP. I know absolutely nothing on Guardians, so I'm just going to go off of what I think would be good since I don't use Guardians. But from what I've seen, Mimicry Master for its... Actually, hold on. It's not Mimicry Master that I'm thinking of. It's Black Cancer that I'm thinking of. Because this one has its silencer, exhaust, or dodge effect. This one's the one that has that right here. So Black Cancer has your avoiding effect. But that's really all I know about it. So I'm not going to sit there and say that I know a whole bunch about it, because I don't. I don't know. Another one I would think would be very good for Guardians is the Mimicry Master. I think Mimicry Master and Black Cancer are the two better of the new ants. Personally. And from what I have heard, Guard General shoots its own foot, pretty much, if you have it fully maxed, because of skill 2. As you can see, 1 round preparation, 45% to deal 395 damage to 2 enemy squads. But it reduces its own squad attack by 80%. You do not want anything that reduces your own attack. There's just too many options. Move along. Buy Guard General. You're obsolete. Go away. So, don't get Guard General. If you have to choose a Guardian type ant, Mimicry Master, Black Cancer, all the way. If you can buy an ant, Dark Hercules. Right here, its squad will take 55% less damage from attacks. It's not a percentage ratio. It's a definite 100%. It's going to take less damage. And then this one is, its squad deals 10% more damage, and the effects stack once per round. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm not a Guardian type person. But if I had to guess, that means it stacks on top of each other for 1 round, so it does it twice in 1 round. I'm not sure. Somebody else will have to, like, comment down below and, like, let me know what's going on with that. But yeah. So there's the ants. Brown Rogue is very exclusive right now. You were only able to get it through, like, a few things. I think 2 things, and then you had to, like, pay buku money to get it. So, but when you're going to, it's pretty powerful. It's like Gold Venom as far as, like, increasing its squad damage. Then it's got a 60% troop attack. This one has a penetration, which it reduces the defense. And then this skill, I'm not really sure what this skill does. Anyway, it's a beast. If you can get it, get it. If not, don't worry about it. There's plenty of other options to counter it. Okay, so this video is already 13 minutes long, so I'm ending it.